Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, connoisseurs of the written word. The English language abounds in a lot of words that are really small, really little, really simple, but which one has never really heard about for a really long time. In fact, did not even know existed until quite recently. One such word is the word mentum. Let's write it out. Okay, mentum. I think we missed a little bit of the N. So perhaps you can just shift the camera a little. Okay, let's reduce it a little bit here. Right. Okay, there you have it. mentum. A seemingly very simple word, but believe me, in nearly 30 years of reading and reading pretty voraciously, I never ran into this word in any of the books I read. Not once. It's that rare. And yet it is so simple. You're probably wondering by now what it means. You're probably all agog with curiosity as to what it means. Well, I'll enlighten you in a second. But before I do so, let us talk about a part of the human face. Uh, the human face has a nose, it has eyes, it has ears, it has lips, and yes, it has a chin, which is actually really unusual, because the Neanderthals don't have a chin. The only way to tell a Neanderthal skull from 40,000 years ago, or say even 100,000 years ago, from a modern day human skull is by the fact that a Neanderthal skull does not have a chin. It's really remarkable. It is one of the diagnostic features in distinguishing a Neanderthal skull from a human skull. In other respects, they have they have substantial similarities. I mean, there are differences, other differences, of course, but the most stark difference is that utter absence of a chin in the Neanderthals. They were literally a chinless people. I mean, I'm not mocking them, don't get me wrong. Anyone who survives 240,000 years in Ice Age Europe is somebody special. They were a very resourceful people. So no, this is not mockery. It's just an observation. So quite rightly, we have a right to be proud of our chins. They are a rather late evolutionary development, if you will. And indeed, we often characterize people by their chins. We say, for instance, he has a weak chin, or we say he has a prominent chin, or we say he has a strong chin. And we even use it in metaphors. We say chin up, which means brace yourself. And we feel that boxers can resist blows to the face because they have a prominent chin. In fact, you could say that a professional boxer, is able to absorb the shockwave of a punch primarily through his chin. You know, so a chin is not just a decorative item. it does grant you a measure of, how should we put it, robustness, resistance to impact. So now that I've told you how important the chin can be in human affairs, we could ask ourselves, what is the synonym for a chin? Is there a synonym for a chin? I didn't know there was one. I thought a chin was a chin was a chin. That's it. It began and ended right there. I didn't have the remotest idea, the least inkling that the chin actually had a synonym. And guess what? The synonym is mentum. 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 Who would have thought that? Huh? Strange. So now we can talk, when using this word in our sentences, and I hope you do, there's no reason why such a simple word should be so rare in its usage. I think it should be more commonly used, considering that it's a rather mellifluous sounding word also. Mentum, very elegant. And it is a rather robust word too. Simple, hard, robust. Yeah. It serves as a very good metaphor, in fact, for a chin, even if you don't mean it literally. So, yes, mentum. We have mentum. So let us use it in a sentence. Since we talked about boxers earlier, let us say, when describing a great boxer, someone who doesn't get punched drunk easily, despite repeated blows, and some of these heavyweights receive massive blows, blows of a magnitude that would pretty much render anyone else unconscious or even outright dead. So we can talk of a great boxer and say he was able to resist those massive blows because of his massive mentum. There you go. We got a nice, lovely alliterative application of the word mentum. He has a massive mentum. So next time you meet somebody who has a prominent chin, a strong chin, you can compliment him on that. You could say, hey man, you have a massive mentum, a massive, mighty mentum. Of course, he wouldn't know what mentum meant, so you'd have to explain it to him. But once he does understand what it means, he would be happy at his compliment. Of course, you don't tell girls that they have a massive mentum. That would be an insult. Girls are expected to have more delicate chins, so you wouldn't want to say to a girl that she has a massive mentum. You could say she has a elegant mentum, fine, or a model like mentum. Some models have some really outstanding chins, extremely delicate, almost like they had been sculpted, really. Um, so you could say to a girl, in genuine compliment, if indeed she has a elegant chin, that she has a model like mentum, model quality mentum. Okay, folks, is there any other usage for this word? Well, it has a adjective, and the adjective is, let's write it out. Mental, mental. Now, this is kind of a jarring, because the word mental, unlike mentum, is used extremely frequently. I mean, you hear it all the time. It's such a common word in our vocabulary. And it obviously refers to uh, an activity of the human mind, okay? Mental activities, and so on. But you can actually use it in this context too when referring to the chin. You could say It is these mental distinctions that enable us to tell a Neanderthal skull from a human skull. Now, when you use this word in that context, you run the risk that your reader will not understand what you're talking about. Like I said, this word is super rare. So, unless you're dealing with a professional anthropologist or a professional biologist or someone who belongs to the clerisy or the cognoscenti, the existential elite people who are truly knowledgeable, you risk having your listener or a reader not know what you meant. So I don't recommend use this word mental in that particular context, even though it's perfectly legitimate. Um, it's strange, I mean, the usage of this word is so unusual, and the word it came from, mentum, is super rare. So today I gave you two words that are truly unusual in their own individual ways, and you may want to rehearse these words in your own sentences, fabricate your own sentences, and like I said in my earlier videos, make it a part of your vocabulary. All right, guys, I guess that is it for today. I think I'll sign off. Hopefully, find another equally engrossing and fascinating word for the next video. Until then, adios, Spanish word.